Most people quietly worry they're a bit too much, too intense, too sensitive, too difficult to explain. But what if those very traits are the ones that give you a genuine psychological edge?
Halo,
Today,
ayo
we're
berjalan di
going
jalan
to
ini.
walk through
Lihat penanda
7
pertama menyala.
specific
Sekarang yang
psychological
kedua dan
signs,
ketiga.
Cermin ini
signs that
pecah,
most
menunjukkan
people treat
cacatku.
as flaws,
Tapi tunggu,
but
cacat
that
ini berubah jadi
research tells
kekuatan.
a very different story about. By the time we reach point 5, you'll understand why the people who feel most out of place are often the ones best equipped to handle pressure. And there's one sign near the end that reframes everything you've been told about fitting in. This isn't motivation content. It's grounded in research. A 2021 study from the University of Edinburgh found that individuals who score highly on openness to experience, a trait linked to feeling different, demonstrate significantly greater cognitive flexibility under stress, which is, to put it mildly, quite significant. Sign 1. You overthink, constantly. Not in the anxious spiral way, in the deep pattern recognition way. Researchers at King's College London have linked this type of rumination to a higher capacity for problem solving in complex, ambiguous situations. Think about the last time your brain worked through every angle of a problem before anyone else even noticed there was one. That wasn't a flaw. That was early warning architecture. Which brings us neatly to sign 2. Sign 2. You feel things more intensely than the people around you. The research term for this is sensory processing sensitivity, or SPS. Dr. Elaine Aron, the psychologist who formally identified this trait, found that roughly 20% of the population process sensory and emotional information more deeply than average. That depth isn't instability, it's data. In practical terms, you often notice what others miss in relationships, in rooms, in the subtext of conversations. Sign 3. You've never quite fit into any single group. You're too this for some people and too that for others. Research published in the British Journal of Psychology suggests that individuals who sit on the periphery of multiple social groups rather than at the core of one act as critical connectors. They bridge knowledge and culture across communities in ways that insiders simply cannot. In a British workplace context, where silos between departments are notoriously stubborn, this is an undervalued skill. What I'm about to say in point 4 completely reframes why this group discomfort exists at all. Sign 4. You struggle to just go along with things. Other people seem comfortable with routines, social scripts, the done thing. You find yourself questioning them, not to be difficult, but because something doesn't sit right. A 2022 study from University College London found that individuals high in dispositional curiosity, that instinct to question rather than accept, showed markedly better adaptive decision-making during periods of rapid change. In other words, when the script breaks down, you're the one who already wrote a new one. Sign 5. People have called you too intense. At work, in relationships, in conversations. But intensity is simply high motivational bandwidth, and under stress, real sustained pressure, it becomes a structural advantage. According to research from the Mental Health Foundation, individuals who engage deeply with meaning and purpose, a marker of high intensity, show greater psychological resilience during prolonged stress events. The NHS currently operates under conditions of near constant resource pressure. The staff who sustain performance longest are rarely the laid-back ones. Sign 6. You find it almost physically uncomfortable to be dishonest, not just lying, performing enthusiasm you don't feel, agreeing when you don't, pretending everything's fine.
Research in psychological science has found that individuals with high integrity-based identity, people who tie their sense of self to their honesty, report significantly higher long-term well-being and are rated as more trustworthy by peers. Interestingly enough, in a cultural moment where authenticity is marketed everywhere, people who genuinely embody it are startlingly rare.
Sign 7. You have never been entirely satisfied. Not in a miserable way, in a there must be something more way. Psychologists refer to this as an approach-oriented motivational style. A 2020 study from the University of Oxford found that individuals who report persistent dissatisfaction with the status quo, when that dissatisfaction is channeled, significantly outperformed their peers in complex, creative, and entrepreneurial tasks. The problem isn't that you want more. The problem is that no one ever told you that was the engine, not the malfunction.
Earlier, I said that the people who feel most out of place are often the ones best equipped to handle pressure. What I didn't say is why. It's because fitting in requires you to compress yourself, and compressed people are brittle. The very traits that made you feel like you didn't belong, the sensitivity, the intensity, the refusal to just go along with things, those are exactly what make you elastic under pressure. You weren't too much, you were just in the wrong frame.
If this changed how you see those traits in yourself, the next video on 7 signs you're tired of people, not life, goes even further, and it's the one most people message me about. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and leave me a comment with one question. Which of these 7 signs do you recognize most in yourself? Drop the number below.